Marco. So hopefully we can get back on to regular schedule today. I hope everything went fine yesterday. How's everybody doing? So today we're actually going to be talking about choosing the right path. David, Jenna, DJ, Rogue Knox, Rosaline. Just waiting for more people to get in. I know. I I was playing with it. Yep. Oh yes. I wish I could bring the soundboard over to this to this. To, I wish Rep Mom 22. Just waiting for some more people to jump in. I know I saw Smitty. He'll like it. Shoemaker, what's going on, brother? So I'm a little early. Cool gamer. So I started this live a few minutes early. To be honest with you, I was kind of bored and I wanted to talk to you guys before I start my stream. Yesterday we were talking about choosing the right path, and making sure somebody was okay was more important than the live stream, to be honest. So we had to cancel the live stream because we had to deal with somebody within the community and make sure they were in a safe place. Rep Mom 22. That's funny. No, but it's just that yes, we chose to help a friend, which was very important. And thank you for doing the soundboard. So for those of you that are not in chat and that are watching in the background, I'm doing today's live about choosing the right path. You know, sometimes we choose the wrong path, but it can be difficult choosing the right path. Sometimes we make the wrong decisions in life, and instead of regretting them, we make changes. Do we regret some of the decisions we make? Yes. But if we dwell on them, can it destroy us? Yes, because dwelling on our mistakes, sometimes we repeat them. And a lot of dwelling on our past, and I'm guilty of sin. It, dwelling on my past. I dwell on my past quite a bit, and it does not help me to move forward sometimes. Well, I did this wrong. I did that wrong. I could have done this different. I could have done that different. Wishing you could go back in time and changing what you did. It's not always accurate. Yeah, I think majority of us do. Majority of us dwell on our mistakes. And in some cases, that's not healthy for us. Put one in chat if you guys dwell on your mistakes. Put a two in chat if you don't. So Rogue must be that individual who says, I fucked up, move on, whatever. Which I wish I could do that, but in some cases it's difficult for me because some of the mistakes I make are some mistakes I make. Some mistakes can be worse than others. I like to make my mistakes multiple times just to be sure they are mistakes and then move on without looking back. Okay. All right. See, I dwell on the past quite a bit. I do because I don't want to repeat it. And sometimes because I dwell too much on it, I end up repeating it. That's me. Other people have figured out how not to dwell on it, and I'm trying. I'm trying. There are some cases where when something happens, I just let it slide. Like whatever. It is what it is. I can't control it. I can't change it. I messed up. Got to move forward. Some of us can do that. Good to see you, Silence, also. Overthinking. That is correct. Overthinking. Some of us do that. I would like to hear from somebody that it is easy to just move on and keep going forward without overthinking things. And all right, I'm gonna open up StreamYard for whoever wants to come up because I like to get an understanding. My mom said I touched the hot stove 3 times before I stopped doing it. I had to ensure that the results weren't a fluke. Oh my God. I will play conversations over and over in my head where I said something I wish I hadn't said or would have said different. It can be years later and I still will still think about it. See, reading those things, acknowledge your mistakes, refrain your reframe your mistakes into lessons, analyze them, ask for help, identify the lessons, Put lessons learned into practice. Track your progress and keep a growth mindset. Though those, I will say, those are easy to read, but hard to follow through. I think every single one of us can acknowledge our mistake. We can acknowledge them. It's everything else after it. Yes, it ain't easy to do, but I'm gonna have to work on it. That's something to work on. Yes, I like that. Yes, it is a challenge to force a new set of habits. Yes. Anybody want to join? They can jump in. I posted the link. My word, I have to go in. Can somebody pin that as pin that the StreamYard link? Can somebody pin it? Let me do this. I got it. So I was just listening to myself echo. All right, silence. But forcing habits might not, because the right thing to do. If the habit's rooted in internal trauma, the trauma needs changed versus forcibly changing the symptoms. Okay. There we go. That's better. I'm waiting until I get to a certain number of subs and get the hours up where I can create members lives and stuff like that. Before I upgrade my plan to multiple cameras, because they have a plan with StreamYard where you can have more than one camera, and that's what I want to eventually do. Yeah. Maybe, which is why I try to encourage more awareness and mindfulness. Okay. But I opened up StreamYard so you guys can come up and, you know, hear other people's side of you. Rogue, you want to come up? Rosalind, you want to come up?
Hey there. Oops, let me get
Hello.
there. Hi. Hello, everyone in chat. Let me pop out chat. This is a
Oh,
great conversation. And choosing the right path. And is this too loud, guys?
you could turn it up a little.
Turn it up a little. How about that? If I get
That's better. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. Because choosing the right path is not always the easiest choice, right?
Yep.
And sometimes you want to take that path that's looks so easy or looks like it's going to apply, and then it turns out to be more than we bargained for. But
Yep.
sometimes that's the way you need to go. Hey, Jenna. Hey, everybody in chat. Audio is dissent. I don't understand.
Decent.
Decent. Okay, thank you. Jenna says it's usually the harder path. Yeah, sometimes when we have lessons to learn, and I believe we are here on this planet just to learn lessons and continue to grow and have excitement and joy and all those neat things. But I have rose-colored glasses. But it's been a long path, and I've chosen many wrong turns. However, everything I've experienced has helped to make me who I am today. And if you admit and take accountability for when you do mess up and try and make amends, or at least try to talk things through, it's only going to help you grow as an individual. It may help the other person too, but yeah. Thanks, silence. I see you. My mistake. So, Eddie, can you share a time when you had choices to make of what path? I mean, you've shared so much that we can probably, all of us that have been here with you from the get-go or for at least a couple of months, can probably see the stories that you've shared where you decided to take a different path than what might have been the best for you at that time.
Well, I made a lot of paths that thought it was the best for me, and it wasn't.
But it was because it taught you things that
It
you
taught
wouldn't
me
have
a
learned.
lot of things. It taught me a lot of what not to do.
Right.
And the thing is the paths I chose were the same paths for years. And I kept walking into the wrong door and opening it.
Would you consider
I'm
that?
lucky I survived all the wrong doors I walked through.
I totally understand that.
I put myself I surrounded myself with people that I shouldn't have. I did things I shouldn't have done. I did everything, I wouldn't want anybody else to go through.
Exactly.
Am I going to talk about those things? No.
Right. Yeah, I kind of stay quiet about those things too, because
Yeah,
I learned
everybody has
from
a
them.
past, and
Right.
some things, you don't want to talk about. Just say that I was a fearless person when I should have been afraid.
I went through a phase like that as well. I think we all do in some way, shape, or form. Through our teen years and early 20s, thinking we're invulnerable, we are indestructible, we are going to survive no matter what we do. And we test those boundaries. And sometimes we learn from them, and sometimes it's an easy lesson, and sometimes it's a not so easy lesson. But all the
Yes.
same, I believe that every path we've taken helps create who we are today. And while it may not have been the best paths, I do not believe in wrong paths, because every path has a reason for following, like Jenna says. Exactly. Yeah, Jenna says she definitely went through that phase. And the thing is, as we grow and learn to do better, as we learn better, we should be doing better. And
Yes.
as we grow, we should be at a point or reach a point where we can clearly see, okay, yeah, that path's not so good. I don't think I should do that. It sounds exciting. It sounds wonderful, but maybe not this time. Not this time. But there's a lot to be learned from taking those adventurous, exciting paths that you know may not end up well. As long as you're honest with yourself, and if you do happen to go down that path and realize it's more self-harm than good, it's a learning lesson. Resist temptation, says Silence. Sometimes you have to, because temptations are sometimes there to test you and sometimes there to go, I have dark chocolate, come over here. And Jenna says, or when you hit the dead end of a path. Yeah. And all through the path, it's a matter of saying, is this for my highest good? For me, it's a matter of, is this for my highest good? Is this going to help on the lesson I'm supposed to be learning now? But not everybody can do that. And I understand. I'm not judging.
Hey, Christina, how you doing?
Christina.
Oh, she's happy to see you up here. She's like, yeah, that's the lady from the night in Discord.
Yeah, that's me. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate you too.
She's like,
yeah,
she's great to talk to. Good.
yeah, there is wisdom to be had in years, as long as you take it, you know. And again, with choosing the right path or choosing any path, what I would encourage folks to do is, if you recognize you're going through a cycle in which you've experienced these things before, maybe the faces were different, the names were different, the time was different, but it's the same type of situation, then it's time for me to stop and say, what am I supposed to learn here that I'm not getting? Because I get tired of cycles and doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it may be a different group of friends or a different place, but it's the same darn cycle. Yes, Jenna. And as soon as we can recognize that we are going through cycles, it's a matter of stopping myself and saying, oh shit, what am I supposed to learn? What have I missed?
That's what I meant to say, talking about choosing the right path. It's also repeating the same cycle over again.
Yeah.
Like when I was drinking, I kept telling myself, people telling me around me saying you got a problem. I kept saying, no, I don't. No, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, I did have a problem, and I kept denying it because I was too intoxicated to admit it. I was too high in my head to say, hey, I do need help. I need to go get help. Well, one day, it was Sunday. I was wide awake. I hadn't slept. And I just happened to be sober. And everything at once was just. And Sunday is the only day I didn't drink. Never drank on Sunday. Sunday was my sober up and get ready for the new week. I would stay up all night. I would go to work Monday morning. Okay. Awake because I have insomnia.
Okay.
So, and I have insomnia bad. I could stay up for 2 or 3 days and it'd be perfectly normal. Like what I mean by stay up is I could sleep for like an hour or two in 2 days and be fine.
Right.
Like my mind is right. It's.
I totally get it. I totally get it.
So for the average person, that's not good. I had times where I would sleep for 13 hours. Some days I would go, it's just, I hate insomnia, but I drank to pass out so I would sleep.
I totally get that too.
Huh?
I totally get it.
So
I've been there too.
So I had to stop, like literally stop.
And the thing is, you got to a point. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And when I did, it was a rock and a hard place. Everything came crashing down. My world did. I quit going to school. I ended up quitting my job. Like my whole world came crashing down. It's like, all right, I have a serious issue and I need help. And I need a lot of it. And that's what's happening. I'm getting a lot of it. I'm getting a lot of help.
And
You know,
that's excellent. I'm glad that you choose this medium for one of the ways you get help, because you help us as well.
and you know, if you asked me 12 years ago if I would have ever created a podcast or a YouTube channel talking about mental health and sharing what I've gone through as an individual, and sharing a huge part of me with you guys, and where you guys can in return share a little bit of yourself and what you struggle with. I don't expect anybody to come up here and tell me their whole life story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never expect that. If that's something people are willing to do, to come up here and just share their whole life story, that's on them. I've
Right.
never and would never ask anybody to do it. You know, I try to help people the best way I know how to. You
Yes.
know, and on this platform, I tell people I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a medical professional. I am just person that struggles with some of the same things everybody else does.
Right.
Depression and how to move forward. That's why I chose this path, this stream called Choosing the Right Path. So my new path is helping people.
That's awesome.
So, you know, if you would have asked me a year and a half ago, would I do this? Like, what I do is before I do something, I talk about it for a while to see if it's going to stick with my brain, you know, and want to keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I got with anything I do in life, like say for example, my first professional tattoo, right?
Yeah.
I talked about it for 3 years before I got it done. I'm like, yeah, I want this tattoo on my forearm. This is what I
I
want done.
I did the same with my first tattoo. There's a lot of things that I will think about for quite some time and do all the pros and cons and all that
Yep.
stuff. And because I've gotten to a point where I want to make sure it's the best thing for me. And it will not hurt anyone else, and it will not be detrimental to anyone else, but more importantly, it's the best path for me. So from what little I know of watching you and interacting with you, I get it that you're the same way, because there are so many times that you and I have chosen the wrong path, or the least correct path, and learned from it, but it took a lot of hurt and heartache and pain that might not have been necessary. But you have to choose or not.
Yes. And I tell people there's no shame in talking about what you've been through,
Right.
because you might help somebody that's been through the same situation you're going through.
Exactly.
So,
Jenna, we all can overthink any situation. I think most of the people in this chat and most of the people on this particular platform community have a good tendency to overthink a situation and talk ourselves out of things, or talk ourselves into things that we know may not be the most beneficial. Yeah, overthinking is a learned survival trait, because it's a what if, right?
I can overthink.
Yeah, I
I'll
bet.
overthink something until my head blows up.
Yep.
It's bad.
Yeah, we some of us kind of saw that when the car was a block away.
Oh my God.
I
I
mean,
was stressing. I
yeah,
was
you were.
stressing out.
And rightly so, because there was something that occurred that was not within your area to control. I hate when things happen that are out of my particular control and I'm supposed to be dealing with it. That can be really frustrating. Really frustrating. So you guys in chat, let me ask you, what do you do once you realize that you're on a path that is not exactly helpful for you? What do you do and what happens? What helps you to stop and turn around or realize what's going on? How are you gentle with yourself through that? Or are you? Because one of the things that I usually suggest to people that I'm speaking with is when you realize you've made a mistake, give yourself the grace that you would give a friend who is explaining that story to you. Rogue Knox, you ghost. I get it. I tend to do that as well.
Oh, she does. She ghosts, all right.
Yeah, that's a survival trait that is not harmful. It may not be the wisest thing to do, but it saves you at the time until you can gather your thoughts and maybe discuss things on a more less emotional level. Because once emotions are involved, fuck it, it's not going nowhere.
You know, the thing is I will tell you this.
Yeah.
One thing in a community, people can't tell me who I can and can't be friends with. Okay.
Has that come up?
Oh,
I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's kind of silly.
Rogue Knox knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
And I am friends with Rogue Knox.
Cool.
And she understands what I'm talking about when I said that no one can control my friends and who I'm friends with. People have a falling out with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to get me to have a falling out with that same person. That person never did me dirty.
Right.
Why am I going to have a falling out with that person?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a wise
The
way.
thing is certain people that was in a circle that we were in with
Mm-hmm.
caused problems. You know, you're talking about choosing the right path.
Right.
Well, we chose the right path to leave that circle.
Yeah, you got to sometimes.
So, and then certain people in that circle tried to drive us, split a wedge between us. And the thing is I never did anything wrong. She never did anything wrong. It was other people that did wrong. And then they put all the blame on her and I.
I totally understand, the situation that I've been through recently, and it's the same similar situation. So I get it. And there's not a whole lot you could do at that point except be true to yourself and true to your friends and those you call your friends, who truly are your friends. Right?
Yeah. You know, in that circle that we removed ourselves from, I'm still friends with somebody in that circle. I still care for somebody in that circle.
Right.
Because that person is the reason why I do my channel today.
Are you still able to communicate with that person?
Yeah. I've been on their
good.
panel and everything,
Good.
It's just that, and Rogue Knox knows I'm still friends with that person.
Cool.
I've been a big supporter of that channel since day one.
Sweet.
Since I got into this. See, I started in true crime. Okay. That's where I came from. True crime is the reason why I started this channel. Because there were certain cases that were going on that really affected me mentally. So about a year ago, I talked about how I was going to start a mental health channel, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out what I was going to call it. And then you know what? I'm like, all things serious. That's what I
Yep.
chose to call it
It's very cool.
because it has a twist to it.
Yeah, it does.
Because you can say all things serious, but not all things can be serious.
Yes.
So, and half my community, so half my community comes from over there,
Well,
where I
sweet.
came from. And it was because of that person they followed me over here because they saw my dream and what I wanted to do because I talked about it long enough for them to know that I was going to eventually do what I said I was going to do. It just took time getting the right computer, getting the right setup. I got it. And I'm like, you know what? I have it now. Let's do it. So I jumped in head first. And you can
Excellent.
ask Road Knox. I didn't even know half the shit I was doing. You know, and Rogue Knox worked with me. Some other people worked with me, you know, and made it come true.
That's awesome. That is wonderfully awesome. I'm glad you had friends around you to help you do that. And just on a side note, if you ever want to explore StreamYard a little more deeply and all the wonderful things that it can give you and you could do with it, hit me up and I'll walk you through. We'll share a screen. I'll show you what is available. 'Cause,
Okay.
I got real smart about StreamYard when I was actually putting out video and content. So yeah, there's all kinds of wonderful ways to do that that are free to you. Or if you're paying for the platform, there's even more available to you.
Yeah,
So
I paid for the platform. I do the
sweet.
so they have I'm trying to upgrade.
All right. You know that on your side panel, you can highlight comments. So that when your replay is going on and people are listening to the
Like
replay,
that.
yes. And you click off and there it goes. And so when your replay is on, people understand who you're talking to and what you're responding to. And it kind of makes your replay have a little bit more value because
Okay.
we can't always have people could not always expect people to be there at every live. However,
Yeah.
when I started it, and I know I'm talking off your chat or for your path thing, off topic, but when I would open my live, I'd say, "Hey, everybody, and all you guys in the replay team, I appreciate you," and at least acknowledge them so they know that I know you're there, you know,
Yep.
and that really helped me on a lot of different levels. Turning off my silencer, silencing my phone. Should have done that first. But there's other things like that and how to set it up so your description has more information or whatever, you know. But it's another path you can choose or not choose to take. But
Yep.
if anybody wants that kind of help, yeah, hit me up. It would be fine. Because they do have StreamYard also has a YouTube channel, pardon me, that they go live several times a week with different presenters that really explain a lot of the things that are capable is not the word, that are possible to use to help your content be seen and help your live flow. And silence, I'm not sure what you're saying. All just
Oh,
is what it is.
so silence is a short. So to understand silence, okay, he said head on head on straight forward like Twisted Metal. Like if you ever played the game Twisted Metal,
No, I've never
okay,
heard of it.
then you would understand. Then if
Okay.
not, you okay. So and then he'll come in like plausible, right? Yes. All just is what it is. I think he's coming from behind, you know, listening to what I'm saying.
Okay.
But he says I'm a silly fart also.
Okay.
So
Then I
silence is one of those guys. He'll come in with the most intriguing intellectual comment, and then go off the rails, and then come back, and then go off, and then come back, and then go
All
off.
right. At least I know
Yeah,
where you're
I
coming
love
from. Sweet.
silence is an amazing person.
And see,
Okay.
that's about choosing paths. I wanted to make sure I was on the right path of understanding your friend
Yeah.
and not going, what kind of person is that? Or
He
presuming anything.
yeah,
Sweet.
he disappeared for a while, so I thought something happened, and then he reappeared, and I'm like, yes. See, David is another one. He'll throw out some interesting. Well, not this one. He's saying my internet's dog shit. I'm behind, but if I'm on the wrong path, I meditate on solutions usually.
That's awesome.
But yeah. So it's been work. Okay, Jennifer, how are we doing?
Hey, Jennifer, good to see you here again.
You've missed some interesting stuff, young lady. You need to join us on the Discord after panel on the ATS after party if you're available, because I got a story to tell you.
Hey, April, good to see you.
April. Yeah. And Jennifer, I heard the story that involved you too.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. So, yep. We're all in the mix. Trust and believe that. We're all in the mix.
That's too bad. All from a drama crama channel. Huh?
And the thing is, I'll talk to you after the live. Objection, hearsay.
Right. Yeah, that happens on a lot of channels, unfortunately. And then this one talks to that one who's not
Jennifer.
talking to this one. Right.
So I'll fill people in, those that weren't here for it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, Halloween night, the car that I paid for disappeared. Okay. So I get a call saying the car is gone. So I'm stressing out. I'm freaking out and everything.
While you were on the live, you have to admit, while you were on the live,
I was live streaming. You could catch it. It's back there. Just go a couple of lives back. On the 31st, I did it twice. I did 2 lives.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yes. So, yeah. So we we report the car stolen. Okay. So they put a APB out, or a BOLO out on the car. They find it a block away from where the car was supposedly parked. Okay. This all happened during the live. So not the finding the car part, but the car coming up missing. Okay. So I'm over on the live streaming, panicking out, freaking the fuck out, everything, right? I end the live. I said, I will be back in an hour and give you guys an update. Okay. So not even an hour later, we find the car. So we get the car taken care of. We get the car back. The following morning, on the 1st, I wake up to a call. We got a flat tire. So we had to go and fix that. Talk about an interesting 2 days in a row.
Well, it was Halloween. Spirits are more active.
Halloween and then the 1st.
Yep, the veil is thinnest for all those funny spirits that take action. I'm glad everything came out all right, though. I'm glad the car is not damaged in any way and it wasn't actually stolen. And taken for a joyride or anything like that. I'm glad that it was just around the corner.
Yes, a block away.
Oh my goodness.
From that car was like, I need a vacay. Give me a few days off.
Yeah. So the person who was your friend who had the car, how stupid do they feel right now? I mean, that's
I'm going to
nice to
tell
say.
you, they still think the car was stolen,
Of course they do.
which is fine.
Right.
Like
They
I
still
said in the
have a car.
live, we've all misplaced the car that we
Oh
see.
my
I don't
God.
think it was a
Yeah.
prank because, yeah, I don't think it was a
Because he
prank.
panicked.
Yeah. And usually when you prank somebody, you unveil the prank afterwards.
Yeah. Usually.
Usually,
And I
yes.
remember we did talk about, has that ever happened to anyone else? And it happened to me so many times I had to take a picture where I park now. So, and there's a way, and I haven't figured it out on this particular phone. There's a way to drop a pin where I park so that my GPS can lead me back to my car.
Yes,
when walking.
yes. Real life. Dude, where's my car?
Sweet.
Real life. Dude, where's my car?
Oh, that's funny.
Ah.
But it was interesting. If you look back on it now, it was interesting to watch you go through the emotional scale on that. Because emotional scale, if anybody wants to Google it, is a real thing. You started at one emotion and you either drop down to another, to another, to another, or you raise up. And I was watching you go through the emotional scale. So I was like, no, Eddie, it's gonna be okay.
No, the cops called my friend that the car is registered to and said, we found the car a block and a half away.
I'm sorry, I think that's really funny.
Oh, I do too. I think it's funny. And then,
Right?
oh man, if it wasn't one thing, it was another.
And it's running now, right?
Oh yeah,
You
it's
got the
fine.
tire fixed and all that stuff.
Oh
Good.
yeah.
Okay.
Didn't
Excellent.
see my new glasses yesterday?
Yeah, those are sharp. Do you know where you left them?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just checking.
They're in the eyeglass case in my bedroom.
Because, I still haven't found my keys.
So
And
you
I've
don't know where
decided
you left them.
I have no clue. They've got to be in this house somewhere. And I've gone so far as to find it for anyone who may not know. It was also Halloween day, and I was supposed to meet someone at a specific time, specific place, and I couldn't find my keys. My key ring with my key fob for my vehicle, my house key, the mail key, and all those little things you get from stores that you get discounts off stuff. And it's a full thing. And April says, I bet you threw them away. You know, I'm starting to believe that. But no, yeah, it's not the whole car, but no, it's just the keys, okay? But I had a spare key fob, and I have a friend of mine had a spare key for my house and mailbox. So I have those in my possession now,
Hold
guys.
on.
No. Eddie misplaced the car. I know where my van was. I always know where my van is because I drop a GPS pin when I park. Oh my goodness. Here she goes. Welcome.
Did you give it away with candy?
You're so funny. Not so much. Stop it. So I decided that
humor is much needed right now.
right.
That's what we do at the end of the conversation that we have.
Right. And I don't mind being the brunt of that. I seriously, I started crying because I was so frustrated knowing that my mom started Alzheimer's. When we noticed it was Alzheimer's, it was like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Did I have my phone? Do you have my phone? It would be in her frickin' hand. Right? So I'm looking at where's my keys? Are they? Nope, they're not in my hands. Are they in my pockets? No, they're not. And I was going through the same thing. It's like, no. I called my sister and said, I can't find my keys. She says, okay, mom. It's like, no.
So here
Oh.
she goes. Are you on Discord? Just asking. And if not, would you like to join All Things Serious' Discord?
Hey, here she goes. Good to see you. I see you, April. Some kid was like, I got a car. Oh my gosh. Yep. I had no trick-or-treaters. None. They know better. I don't even see them in the neighborhood because, we're in the hood. And you don't go knocking after dark in the hood. You just don't. Too many crazy old ladies with guns,
How are you doing? Here she goes. It's been a minute. I hope life is going well for you. Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah, y'all be careful on those YouTube streets. There's some crazy people out there.
Yes, there are. So, what's everybody's plans for this weekend? Because I have Friday and Saturday off. I'm not going to be streaming.
Saturday is Camp Tuck In, where we turn off the electricity and the water and clean up for one last time before locking it down. It's still possible to camp there if you want, but there's no heat in the cabins. There's no running water, so you have to take your own things like that. But yeah, last time to take down the trinkets at the offering places and trim up the paths for the winter. Do some weeding on the little gardens that are there. So I'll be out there most of the day, and hopefully it's supposed to be around 60 out here. So we'll see. Oh, here she goes. New job. Good job. I hope you love it. I hope it fills a need. Rogue Knox going to be writing. Silent says right on. Excellent. So do you have plans for the weekend, Eddie? That you want to share with us?
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
Nothing special.
No
Just,
worries.
Doing what I normally do. So,
awesome. Yeah, I get to be outside at the campground, which is very rejuvenating for me. And then Sunday I'll probably visit my son and his friends a little bit south of here. Oh, good. Here she goes. It'll do good for my mental status. Something to do instead of staying in my head all day. Yay. Because we've all done
that's awesome.
that, right?
That's awesome.
Nothing special for Jenna. Jenna, if you're available tomorrow and want to go over some of the things you and I and Jackie McDaniels were talking about the other day, hit me up and I will try and find you on Discord. Oh, thanks, Silence.
Marianne Bays, you made it. You could join us on Discord at the ATS after party if you want to. I'm not going to be live for, much longer. Probably got another 10, 15 minutes, if that. You guys are all welcome to join us in the ATS after party where we just shoot the shit, conversate amongst the ones in the community. You guys are more than welcome. I wish I could get everybody to join Discord that comes in here so we could all just communicate with each other. Okay.
You want to drop your Discord?
Hold on, I'll give you guys.
That's up to you.
I don't care.
Because the Discord link is good for 7 days. So if there's people that want your replay after 7 days, it's no longer a valid one. Do you mind, Ret Mom 22, Rustling, do you mind if I ask where you're from? East Coast. Originally from the East Coast. Originally from New York. Long
She,
Island, New York.
Long Island,
Long Island. East Islip, Long Island.
East Islip.
Totally.
My family's from West Islip.
Get out of town. Look at that.
You ever, yeah? So
I lived around the corner from Heckscher State Park.
you ever heard of the last name Lind? Lind. Lind.
I want to say yes, but all I know is yours.
Well, that last name is pretty popular in Long Island, in that area, Islip.
Okay, but it was like 67, 66, 65 when
Yeah,
we
my family left in the 70s and moved south.
I'm sorry. I was too young to realize at that time. I mean, I was probably like 11 or 12. So I wasn't wise in the ways of the world. I knew how to get from my house to the candy store and back. Marianne would love to go
I'm
to the
over here
USA, but too
yawning,
sick.
and I
I
took a
see
nap
it.
before the live stream.
See? Marianne Bays, do you mind telling us what country you're in if it's not USA?
If I'm correct,
Silence.
she
I don't
is
know.
in the. Huh?
I'm saying to silence, I don't know how to respond to you, but I'm not ignoring you. The UK. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay. I know lots of folks from over
I
there.
was going to say the UK.
Yay. You know your peeps.
I got somebody that's from Australia.
Silence.
Got a couple of people from the UK.
See, now I'm going to have to go to the store and get some cinnamon rolls and some coffee creamer. Cinnamon roll coffee creamer. It's a thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I like cinnamon vanilla, but this last time I got cinnamon rolls and it was like, yeah, that's good. Because I love my coffee, but I need to have something in it. I don't care for black coffee because I haven't found that nice balance of the strength of the coffee, so I don't have to put stuff in it. So I make it really strong. Cinnamon rolls. Yes.
I love silence. Silence is awesome.
And the frosting.
Everybody in my community is amazing.
Yeah, I'm finding a lot of really neat people here. I really am. And every time we go to the ATS after show,
Yep.
I'm getting to interact with people that I never would have gotten a chance to. And you guys are all so interesting. You have your own take on life and your own little different parts of the world, different parts of the United States. It's wonderful. It's very enriching for me. Starbucks have a dragon fruit drink at the moment. Really good. It sounds good. Okay, silence. Whipped cream? Nah. But the frosting? Yeah. The frosting. Did you here she goes. He dropped the link that should have taken you to All Things Serious. Is that the link you tried and you didn't find it?
Here's the link again.
And see, that's a different link than you dropped earlier. How about that? So maybe one.
Click on the link I just posted.
And that took me there. So yay. Pardon me. Can you hear my cat snoring? My chunky cat is snoring up a storm.
All right. So
I'll
Let
drop
me.
down.
No, I want to
Okay.
see something.
Okay. Well, I clicked that link and it took me right there. So good for you, Marion. I camp in my van at a similar place.
I like all things sugar and carbs. I need to stop. So don't I.
Yeah, carbs are not necessarily a bad thing, but I know I myself tend to overdo it. I found this I usually don't, I'm not a big bread fan, but I found this Dave's Best Bread, and it's an everything bagel style of bread. And I don't know if any of y'all had an everything bagel, but oh my God. Oh my God. It's like the everything bagel without all the carbs. It's just a piece of toast, thinly sliced, that I kind of like a lot. So it's cool. It's so cold in the UK. Yeah, it's getting cold over here too. I think we're on the same latitude line.
April Tobin, I am shoving Nerds Gummies clusters into my mouth. LOL. All right, everybody. I will see you guys over in ATS after party. I'm heading over there now. Those of you that are in my Discord, you're more than welcome to join. And let's go over there and just hang out and shoot the shit. You guys are amazing, and I will see you guys there. All
see you
things
over there,
serious.
guys. Bye.
All things serious out.